don't act like you a thug or you from the streets. You never discharged a firearm, bro. We were young men growing up in North Memphis, cooking crack. No, I'm just joking. You ain't got to be cool to be from the streets. We need intellectuals.
I just learned the power of intellectual property.
The things in your head are worth money, the ideas. These all fall into intellectual property. If you can put the saddle on one of those horses, especially a horse you created, and can get momentum, that revenue produces statements, which will constitute a bank instrument, basically.
You got to be willing to work. I did everything. I went to truck driving school.
It's those type of grassroots businesses that provide you the platform. A tree limb could only extend as strong as the trunk.
Slow down your thinking and speed up your progress. Good evening, everybody. I want to introduce everybody to this my first official podcast. I know a lot of you guys. yeah. I know a lot of people may have, I put out a lot of things over the years on YouTube, mainly talking about credit. That's what I'm most known for. I published 8 books. Kind of moved on from like putting all of my focus into credit. I feel like I put enough information out to educate people, and now I want to provide a different type of education to people out there that's trying to get ahead in life. Like I ventured off into the transportation industry. I tried driving 18-wheelers. I I actually have a dump truck business now. Driven roll-off trucks, heavy equipment, did all of that. But I think it's about time I started talking. So that's what led me to, as you can see, Think Slow, the Think Slow podcast. I got I wanted to start my first show off with my lifelong friend, Mr. N.
What's up, guys?
Yeah.
Joining Corey P. Smith on his first show. I had to come down and support. This has been my dog a long time, and of course, before it was the dump trucks and the books on credit, we were young boys, young men growing up in North Memphis, cooking crack. No, I'm just joking. But really, we really had to find our way in a legitimate path because we had families, and longevity was obviously important. Everybody in their respective industries, but we remained friends and brothers throughout the process. God willing, many more years of real friendships to come. I wish that on all of you as well.
Right. And then, I gotta say, I've learned a lot from you. A lot of people don't know that.
My crack recipe was the best. No,
I learned a lot from you. Even as of lately, like a lot of people probably wondering why I published so many books, and I just learned the power of intellectual property. I gotta say from you.
Oh man,
and
that's wow, because you in turn taught me so much on credit.
Right.
And so, man, it makes me feel good to say that I was able to pass something on involving. To a guy that's so accomplished and that has knowledge of so many different industries, involved in so many industries. I brought the intellectual property piece, right. And it deserves some attention, and it deserves to be studied. After a landmark copyright infringement lawsuit.
You could tell
the
them
level of importance around this subject just for young people who create content on different levels, you know?
Right.
The importance of them understanding the revenue streams and how to collect and how to essentially, you know, try to start some type of business or making a living
Right.
with what they love to do. I know that we didn't have, whether it was basketball or you know, AAU or whatever our extra activities was, we didn't have that type of support and certainly didn't have that type of information available.
Right.
So a little bit of you, steel sharp as steel, as they say, which brought me to me writing my book.
Right.
And I guess I was like, he's just writing so many books.
But
tell
me the
supposed
name.
to be a smart guy. At least I can write one book.
Give them the name of your book, because your book actually helped me land. It helped me land a deal, publishing deal, 6-figure publishing deal, and I learned that by reading your book. But give them the name of your book.
The name of my book is The Perfect Music Money Setup.
Right.
The Perfect Music Money Setup, a guide to royalty collection, but more so a strategy. Because at this point, a strategy is needed.
Right.
And we talked about how Equifax being, the Godzilla of the credit game, able to gobble up these smaller companies, which are essentially data companies.
Right.
And so Universal Music Group, that looked familiar to me because of, what we did with credit and the information I took in regarding credit. So, I saw them gobbling up companies, CD Baby, not so much TuneCore, that's one of their creations. But they have a lot of small companies that they control.
Right.
And all of it's data driven. All of it rests on both the integrity of the data and the ownership of the data.
Right.
And then when we moved in a virtual space like that, it's so many different ways to move the numbers and move the goal line on the artist.
Right.
So we really have to know how to navigate that. However, a lot of volatility, a lot of momentum going on. And so if you could put the saddle on one of those horses, especially a horse you created, a song you created, a video you created, a piece of music you created, lyrics you created, poem you created, narrating a book you created, because all of this is falling in. There's no excuse for us.
Right.
If you do that and can get momentum or get involved in the volatility that's happening in the streaming market, we can just say that, then you can ride that horse to a nice payday and then understand how to attach things you create to gain momentum, to other things to gain momentum.
Let me say this to because this is my camera right here.
That's not your camera. No.
This is my camera. For people that do know who I am and have followed me along the journey of writing books, and in all my writing, one thing I had no idea. I mean, and I guess this is the power of no matter what anybody else is doing in the world. If you have a dream or if you have something that you want to accomplish, the power of just staying focused on what you want to do and don't be distracted by what somebody else is doing. Like all these years I've been writing books, I didn't know what I was building until I actually read your book. Let me say this because, when you think in terms of what I was able to do after, reading your book with going to getting the publishing deal, I had you think of publishing, you think of music, not writing books. So,
well, it does encompass the printing of something.
Right.
It has always encompassed that, whether it was sheet music or the lyrics or the the poems, or it always involved printing something.
Right.
So publishing something oftentimes meant printing something before the internet.
Can you just give the folks a little like I know you are because we from the same city, a little background on like how you started out, or you don't want to go into there like as far
Well, I
as
just told everybody I was the best crack cooker in North. I'm Mr. N. I'm a multi-platinum producer and artist from Memphis, Tennessee.
Started
What
out.
else do I want to say? I work with Yo Gotti. We grew up as friends as well. Me and Young Dolph. I produced for PRE. So I was a young person in Memphis, making music,
Right.
music on the radio and things like that. But I also had was involved in real estate, and I had several businesses going on while that was all happening. But I knew in terms of technology that things were changing rapidly, and the formula was constantly changing. But the old rules of the music business, which copyrights, and when I say that is what I mean, because you can still go to the library and print off a sheet of paper and fill it out and claim your idea.
Right.
Because the ideas in your head are worth money.
Right.
If you turn them into words, if you turn them into things. Diagrams. A friend of ours is a marine engineer, and he looks at the diagram and takes that diagram off of that piece of paper and fabricates, forges aluminum, steel pieces for the boat, but they don't exist just on paper.
Right.
And then he brings them into existence, and we asked him, well, how much one of these ladders cost? And he's
like 60,000,
like 16,000
yeah,
for aluminum ladder.
Right.
But they do sell, the carbon ladders, carbon fiber ladders are 60,000. So the things in your head are worth money. The ideas, patents, trademarks. These all fall into intellectual properties. They will all bring revenue in one way or another, residual incomes for use of the idea or the piece of work.
Right.
And as you found out, that revenue produces statements.
Yep.
And when you've accumulated statements, this is proof of income, which will constitute a bank instrument, basically. Right, because now we're going to access funds that have not arrived yet. In the great words of Young Dolph, they just finna give you the money you finna make anyway.
That's what you told me.
Right, so they're just advancing as they would an annuity if you won the lottery. But the statements are consistent, and so they're willing to underwrite loan and notes and payments.
But me being being in the world of credit, I did. It wasn't
What was different was a SSN wasn't required.
Yeah, I ain't have to go through none of that.
And so I went a very, very long time from processing mortgages to non-collateral personal to non-collateral business loans to business credit. I learned a lot of stuff from you about that. And then I finally arrived at a place where they don't want no EIN or no SSN or nothing. This is strictly on the asset.
Right.
And that's where you arrived at, or you discovered that because you didn't even know that was a thing.
I was blown away when you after reading the book and I started to ask you the questions. Like, I was blown away. I was like, man, I got royalty statements for the last 10 years. So you telling me
and not even going into specific numbers, but the amount of money they really wanted to give you,
right? Yeah,
you wouldn't take that much,
right?
But I did my job as to make sure everything was. But yeah, so it has power, is what I'm trying to say, because they really wanted to give you more than you was even willing to take.
Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I could say this probably. I'm normally not a guy that's, afraid of certain things, but I mean, I just couldn't believe that after all these years, when they told me the number, I was like, so y'all gonna give me this amount of money and no credit check. You don't need nothing from me but statements.
Like I told them, because we've done business before, me and you.
Yeah.
Anybody will underwrite these loans, because with 10 years of consistent statements, I can figure the average of how much that's going to come in a 12-month span. So, it makes a lot of sense. Now, granted, this is an industry that we may not have broken ground into a certain year or time period, but from a lending standpoint, it's a safe bet.
Right, no brainer. I know a lot of people, this watching this, like I said, this is basically the first podcast. And I know a lot of y'all.
Mr. Corey P.
Yeah, Corey P. Smith. I know a lot of y'all going to be looking for information about credit and, credit repair. But like I said, it's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to provide information like some of the paths that I took outside of writing books and credit, the things that credit led me to, like transportation, like, just let me say I got a course, a pilot car course that I actually just released maybe a week ago. Still working on automating it, but that is a business that you can generate 6 figures.
Absolutely.
Like, you don't believe me, you can Google, like, what's the average income, but you got to be willing to work. And, it's things like that I want to share with people, let them know how to get into it, because I did everything. Like I said, I went to truck driving school. Absolutely. I even took a job.
And let me interject and say that it's those type of grassroots businesses that provide you the platform, because a tree limb could only extend as strong as the trunk. It could only extend out as far. And so when you step it into new things, and I've been wanting to write a book, or I've been wanting to do this, those grassroots businesses that produce income, the pallet car business, the dump truck, and it's one step at a time with even those. But those are the businesses that are going to provide a platform. And so now you can think outside the box. You can move outside the box. So we don't want to leave these intermediary steps out. We just didn't go from selling pounds of marijuana in Fraser and now we got a big dump truck and a bunch of houses. No, it didn't happen like that.
Right.
And it's a lot of guys online. I'm going to be honest. I can just look at you in your face and know you ain't been in the room with no real money and no dope. You feel what I'm saying? That you ain't got to be cool to be from the streets. If you're smart, we need intellectuals, but don't act like you or play like you a thug, or you from the streets and you was doing this and your come up was organic and you was living in a trap house, because we pick up on that. Real niggas gonna pick up on that. You feel what I'm saying? They gonna know you. Like, look at me. I got wavy hair and all this right here, but I can tell you one thing. Everybody know I know what's up. I've been there, done that. You feel what I'm saying? And it's no honor in a lot of that street stuff. I don't promote that, especially at this point. But I just don't like the older guys passing themselves off to the young men when you never discharged a firearm, bro. Why you on here? You know, don't do that, bro.
If you smart,
if you a smart businessman, we need more of them anyway.
Right.
Don't disguise yourself. Don't put on. Get them the real. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. It's more than just about you see a lot of guys. Like, I ain't trying to just be no motivational speaker. Like, I'm trying to give you some information that you could take and turn it into some bread. But, like, I like what you said. Like, a lot of guys, you already know from the jump, like, it ain't what they saying it is. Like, you really weren't hustling before the internet.
Hey, man, they rent exotic cars all day in Miami, man. You know, you could go and shoot a video and say you anybody, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the legitimacy behind it, the foundation, the words, the vibrations, you can't fake that, you know? Right. And so, you know, we got to stick to facts and stick to the real and stick to things that make sense, that line up. And that's where we put our focus, our energy, and our money, you know?
Right, that's a fact.
Right.
That's a fact.
If the information is so good, then I don't really need your money, really.
Right, you just need the information.
You just need the information.
Right. Yeah, man, I'm glad you accepted my invitation, because I know you ain't one that really like being in front of the camera right now.
Well, it's all good, man. You know, we had to come down here and kick off the first show. We appreciate you guys for tuning in.
Yeah.
And the Think Slow podcast, I'm excited about this, man. You got a great thing going here. Happy to be on the first show.
Right. Yeah, for a lot of y'all that's probably wondering, like, man, why think slow? All you got to do is, like, slow down your thinking and speed up your progress. You know, you got to be able to process things, like, slow down the world, so to speak. Like, you know, I know a lot of people here, man, you got to think fast. Nah, think slow.
Well, I was thinking about that because, you know, being from the South, we talk slow, but we think fast.
Right, yeah.
And so I think that's the country dumb Ray Charles was talking about. He use on all of them.
Because I talk slow. I talk slow, but, you know.
I like the idea. I think it's a great thing. I'm going to be tuned in myself to see how everything goes and stay locked in. You know, we gonna learn. We all gonna learn from each other. You guys are gonna write some stuff in the comments to make us think of something new that we want to talk about, or he wants to talk about on the next show. So we excited to see what you guys have to say. Hey, man.
Yeah. So for you know, everybody that tuned in, I want to thank you. It's gonna get greater. I'm going to bring a lot of great shows to you guys. I'm going to bring a lot of great information to you guys. And I'm going to be real with you guys. I'm not going to never bring no information to you that I haven't engaged in myself. Like, I ain't going to never talk about nothing that I haven't experienced myself. It ain't going to be no Paris here, so to speak. Like my man right here, like, it's a whole lot more to the story and you know, to his story and us growing up. Like, you know, it's even an interesting story about how we reconnected.
Absolutely.
You know? And
the first chapter to How to Outsmart the Credit Bureaus was about the computer and Oscar. Mm-hmm. I thought that was really, really impressive. And so a lot of things transpired with computers and data and understanding things after that. But I thought that was a really, really key point, that you took time to understand and learn the software. And I saw the strength in that, you know. So I thought that was big. But yeah, absolutely.
Or you can go ahead and tell me too. You really didn't believe I wrote it.
Well, I just, I was surprised, because a lot of people possess the skills but maybe not put it in words, you know. Right. But when you put it in words, you have a definitive understanding, right. You know. And so when I wrote this book, I knew that I had to like actually be on the laptop or in motion or on the eCopyright .gov or on Song Trust or whatever site in order to give them a step-by-step process on how to register, how to do this, you know. So I was like, that was just very powerful because young people do need a step-by-step process from somebody who maybe relates to them or even looks like them, you know?
Right, exactly. But with that being said, my brother.
All right.
I appreciate the conversation.
I think they say I get my check. What? I pick up what? They pick up my check. I think they're going to leave my check out front. So
I got you, man. We'll go eat some Bronzino fish or something.
I'm joking.
But until the next time, I'll see you guys. Think slow.